In this video, we're going to take a look at the developments that took place in Season 7, Episode 16 of The Curse of Oak Island. But before we do, I'd like to ask that if you haven't done so already, you please consider subscribing to this channel, which you can do by clicking the subscribe button below. Season 7, Episode 16 of The Curse of Oak Island begins in the Uplands area between Smith's Cove and the Money Pit, where Billy Gerhardt is busy uncovering what is believed to be the remains of Shaft 5. While the heavy equipment operator goes about his job, Gary Drayton scans the fresh spoils with a metal detector. Gary quickly comes across two large iron spikes, both of which he dates to the 1700s. The narrator remarks that if the artifacts indeed date to the 18th century, they were probably left by the builders of the Smith's Cove flood tunnel rather than members of the Truro Company, who constructed Shaft 5 in 1850. In the middle of the episode, Devin Matchett of Delway Enterprises delivers an enormous excavator with a 60-foot-long boom to the island. The treasure hunters immediately employ this machine in the excavation of the pit in the Uplands area. During the dig, the hole begins to cave in, prompting the treasure hunters to backfill the pit for safety purposes and agree to abandon the excavation for the time being. Near the end of the episode, Craig Tester, Alex Lagina, and Charles Barkhouse take the iron spikes found in the Uplands pit to St. Mary's University in Halifax, Nova Scotia, where they show them to chemistry professor Dr. Krista Brousseau. With the help of research instrument technician Dr. Xiang Yang, Dr. Brousseau examines the nails under an electron microscope and finds that they both contain phosphorus, which she says is an indication that they were forged sometime prior to the 1840s. She also states that old iron objects rich in phosphorus are commonly found in Britain and Northern Europe. Alex Lagina then observes that, if the artifacts were indeed manufactured prior to 1840, they may have been left behind by the builders of the Smith's Cove flood tunnel. When the rest of the treasure hunters learn of this development, they agree that they ought to resume the excavation of the backfilled Uplands pit. Near the beginning of the episode, the crew has a meeting in the war room. There, Craig Tester announces the results of the seismic survey of the eastern half of Oak Island, carried out by Eagle Canada back in Season 7, Episode 6. The seismic data indicates the presence of an underground anomaly near the southeastern end of the cave-in pit, at a depth of about 60 feet. The anomaly is linear and appears to run towards the Money Pit, evoking the Smith's Cove flood tunnel. Recall that back in Season 7, Episode 2, GPR experts Steve Watson and Don Johnston discovered some underground anomalies near the cave-in pit during their ground-penetrating radar scan of the area, one of them lying at a depth of 82 feet and the other lying at a depth of 91 feet. A subsequent exploratory drilling operation conducted in Season 7, Episode 5 revealed the presence of 4 feet of sand, somewhere between 99 and 109 feet below the surface. Deeper, it must be mentioned, than either of the two GPR anomalies. The narrator then reminds us that, back in Season 7, Episode 4, the team discovered fragments of wood at a depth of around 52 feet in borehole OITC-6, located on Smith's Cove's upper beach. These fragments were later dated from 1735 to 1784. The narrator suggests that these pieces of wood and the 60-foot deep seismic anomaly located southeast of the cave-in pit may both be part of the Smith's Cove flood tunnel. Throughout the second half of the episode, the Fellowship of the Dig drains and excavates the eye of the swamp, determined to examine the stones that encircle its perimeter, around each of which Gary Drayton discovered the presence of some mysterious iron objects in Season 7, Episode 3. After finding what appears to be blue clay, the treasure hunters unearth 3 large tree stumps, inside one of which an iron rod appears to be embedded. This find evokes another discovery made in Season 4, Episode 3, when Tony Sampson discovered a metal object encased in a large stump rooted to the floor of the Mercy Point area in the Oak Island swamp. Sampson pried the object loose, revealing it to be a survey marker placed decades ago by treasure hunter Fred Nolan. At the very end of the episode, while digging at the center of the eye of the swamp, the crew uncovers a stack of enormous boulders comparable in size to those which comprise Nolan's Cross. The treasure hunters agree that they ought to have the formation analyzed by geoscientist Dr. Ian Spooner. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more like it in the future, please subscribe to this channel, which you can do by clicking the subscribe button below.